what I do to unwind. Welcome to my penthouse.
Well, the same music is food for the soul.
Oh, yeah.
And it's timeless, you know. Wow, Sean, I love the African.
Oh, thank
you.
you.
And the art in your house, it's just lovely.
Well, thank you. I'm an African to the core.
Oh, that's really
Passionate African.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, talking about Africa, tell us about how you grew up as a person and your family and your background in general.
I have the privilege of growing up in a very, very supportive family.
Wow.
My parents were, my dad is still around, my mom is no more here, but they were absolutely supportive. I particularly remember certain instances in my life when my parents saw that I had this love, like, to talk about companies, talk about things, you know, even as a little kid. And I remember my parents, my dad had a subscription of Time magazine and Fortune magazine for me as a little kid.
Wow.
You know, and then I remember my 10th birthday, my mom, my parents bought me a piano.
Wow.
You know,
wow.
And so anything they could do to just support what I was doing, they did for me.
It's so true that little things in life matter. Look where it got you. At what age can you clarify to us that were you being bought for these magazines? 14?
Oh, I was less than 10. I was less than 10.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents just, they saw my skill and they just believed in me and they bought me stuff.
Wow. No wonder you have the PowerTalks where you empower people, the mentorship programs, the consultancy services you offer to companies. Kindly tell us about those.
Well, you know, I think it's very interesting because I've always had that in me, but I got into a lot of those things actually, I was in the pit, you know, then every testimony is the end result of a testing.
Wow.
You know, we were in a place where I keep saying I was so poor that the poor called me poor. You know, I was so poor I couldn't pay attention. You know, you know, and I think it's just amazing how I've seen God just work in my life, because it started by me just developing. That's why I keep emphasizing, even in our trainings, and you know that, I keep telling people to develop themselves.
Yes.
Develop your capacity, build value in yourself. When you build value in yourself, the rest it will just follow.
Yes.
All right. So I began to build value in myself with regards to strategy, with regards to change and transformation. I began to read a lot about it, and then what happened? Companies began to call me, and one thing led to another, and today we're rated as one of the highest, one of the top when it comes to corporate consultancy in this region, and we're grateful. Yes.
Oh, that is really nice. I actually work for PowerTalks TV, and I've had a one-on-one experience. And like to take something up as your own, you actually bring it up as your baby, and you nurture it with the vision and dream in mind that you have.
Yeah, that's why, you know, you know, like in PowerTalk, we don't give people as it.
So what can you tell someone out there who sees all these opportunities but has never taken the time to think and maybe seize them and form them into income?
Two things.
Yes.
Number one, I'm a firm believer in the philosophy that says that your gift can be your capital.
Oh, yes.
I'm a firm believer in that philosophy. There was a time when I get broke, I walk into a jazz club and I just play, and I be invited for a gig.
Wow.
You know, I've been to some hotels here, you know, years ago, where I just get on the piano, begin to play, and then somebody comes and offers me a job.
Wow.
You know, my gift, capital.
Yes.
A lot of people, I think, the problem is they don't identify their gifts.
Yes.
For me, my gift, I can talk. My mother said, Wale can sell sand in the desert. You know? Yes. And today, that's what I do. I like to read.
Yes.
I like to think and strategize. I always like to ask questions. And that's what I do today in packaging products for companies. and all the different products that you are aware that we have today. Yeah. So that's what we do. So I remember when I was starting PowerTalks, let me tell you what happened. I would go to different companies, and then they would tell me they want to have, which other companies have I worked with? I worked with, at that point I worked with nobody.
Oh, at that point.
This was, I was just beginning.
Yes.
I had nobody I had worked with. So you know what I did? I went to some companies and I offered my services for free. You see, because at that point, what I needed was not money. I needed them to respect me. So I went to companies, I worked for them for free, so I could put them on my resume.
Yes.
Okay? And so that's how I began to build up my portfolio in the early days. And so after a while, I would go to companies and they say, "Who have you worked for?" And they say, "Oh, you worked for this, you worked for this, wow." Okay? And that's how I started. You know, I didn't have any money, I didn't have any capital, but I had my brains, I had my legs, and I just